In an intriguing disclosure that has captivated both enthusiasts and skeptics, ex-U.S. Army Major and Command Sergeant Major Bob Dean released NASA footage in 2009 of an alleged 2,000-mile-long unidentified flying object, UFO, near Saturn. Originating from Voyager's mission to Saturn in 1980, the images were said to be part of hidden NASA archives, stoking curiosity and debate. This video delves into the details of this extraordinary claim, exploring the background evidence, theories, and reactions that surround this enigmatic piece of space anomaly. Background of Bob Dean. Robert Dean, commonly known as Bob Dean, was a prominent figure within the field of ufology, known for his claims regarding extraterrestrial life and hidden knowledge within governmental organizations. Born and raised in the United States, Dean's early life was marked by a dedication to military service. He enlisted in the U.S. Army on April 5, 1960, and his military career was both distinguished and diverse. Serving in combat in both Korea and Vietnam, Dean's experiences on the battlefield were characterized by valor and commitment. He retired from the Army on October 31, 1976, as a Command Sergeant Major, a position reflective of his leadership and dedication to his country. But it was after his retirement from active military service that Dean began to delve into matters that would make him a controversial figure. During his military career, Dean was stationed at NATO headquarters from 1963 to 1967. It was during this time that he claimed to have been exposed to classified information regarding extraterrestrial life. This information allegedly detailed encounters between military personnel and unidentified flying objects, sparking Dean's enduring interest in the subject. Dean became an outspoken advocate for the disclosure of information concerning extraterrestrial life, insisting that governments were suppressing evidence. His passion for the subject led him to become a frequent speaker at conferences, seminars, and summits dedicated to the study of UFOs. His perspectives were considered by many to be unique due to his military background, offering an insider's view of how governmental organizations approached the subject. In 2009, Dean's fame within the UFO community reached new heights when he released photos allegedly showing a massive UFO near Saturn. These photos, taken during Voyager's mission to Saturn in 1980, were claimed to have been hidden in NASA's archives. Dean insisted that the images were evidence of intelligent races far more advanced than humanity, a belief he often reiterated in his public appearances. Dean's claims were not without controversy. Critics questioned the validity of his assertions and the authenticity of the evidence he presented. Yet, his military background and years of dedication to the subject earned him a substantial following. Many found his arguments compelling, especially those who were already inclined to believe in extraterrestrial life. Though his work in ufology defined his later life, Dean's character was multifaceted. Friends and colleagues described him as a thoughtful and compassionate individual, deeply committed to his beliefs, but also respectful of differing opinions. His passion for the subject of UFOs was not driven by a desire for fame or fortune, but seemed to stem from a profound sense of curiosity and a belief in humanity's right to know the truth. Dean's contributions to the field of ufology continued until his death on October 11, 2018, at the age of 89 in Tucson, Arizona. His passing marked the end of a life characterized by service, inquiry, and a willingness to challenge conventional thinking. The legacy he left behind continues to inspire debate and exploration in the quest to understand the unknown, ensuring that his name will remain an influential part of the ongoing conversation regarding extraterrestrial life. His story, from his military service to his work at NATO and his passion for UFOs, paints a picture of a man driven by curiosity, courage, and a desire to uncover what many believe to be hidden truths about our universe.
Because the truth is so beautiful.
The Voyager mission to Saturn. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, an era marked by rapid advancements in space exploration, NASA's Voyager missions to Saturn played a pivotal role in expanding our understanding of the outer planets of the solar system. The Voyager mission consisted of two spacecraft, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, both of which provided invaluable insights into Saturn, its rings, and its many moons. Launched in 1977, the two Voyager spacecraft were initially tasked with studying Jupiter and Saturn. They were part of a grand tour concept that utilized a rare alignment of the planets to facilitate exploration of the outer solar system. Voyager 1's encounter with Saturn occurred in November 1980, while Voyager 2 reached the planet in August 1981. Voyager 1's observations of Saturn began long before its closest approach. As the spacecraft drew near, it sent back detailed images and data about the planet's atmosphere, rings, and moons. One of the most significant revelations was the complex structure of Saturn's rings. The spacecraft discovered that the rings were composed of thousands of thin ringlets, rather than a few broad ones as previously believed. This finding spurred new theories about the formation and dynamics of the rings. The mission also provided a closer look at several of Saturn's moons, including Titan, Saturn's largest moon, and one that had long fascinated astronomers. Voyager 1's instruments probed Titan's thick, hazy atmosphere, determining its composition and revealing that it was mostly made of nitrogen, with traces of methane and other hydrocarbons. These findings raised intriguing questions about Titan's geological processes and potential for hosting some form of life. Additionally, the mission discovered 3 previously unknown moons orbiting Saturn and observed the active geology of Enceladus, another of Saturn's moons. Observations of Enceladus suggested that it might have a warm interior, an idea that would later be supported by data from the Cassini mission and lead to speculation about subsurface oceans. The Voyager 2 spacecraft continued the exploration of Saturn, providing further details about the planet's atmosphere and magnetic field. Its observations supported many of the findings of Voyager 1, adding depth to our understanding of this giant gas planet. The data gathered by the Voyagers about Saturn's atmosphere were equally remarkable. The spacecraft revealed that Saturn's atmosphere was primarily composed of hydrogen and helium, but also contained trace amounts of other compounds like ammonia and methane. They detected powerful winds, complex cloud patterns, and enormous storms, providing insights into the planet's meteorology. The Voyager mission to Saturn was not without challenges. Voyager 2 experienced technical difficulties that affected some of its instruments, limiting the data it could collect. Despite these challenges, the mission was deemed a resounding success. The legacy of the Voyager mission to Saturn extends beyond its scientific discoveries. The images and data sent back by the spacecraft not only reshaped our understanding of Saturn, but also captivated the public's imagination. The mission symbolized a new era of exploration, one that reached beyond our immediate cosmic neighborhood to the distant realms of the solar system. In the context of the claims made by Bob Dean about the existence of a UFO near Saturn, the Voyager mission takes on an additional layer of intrigue. Though the official findings of the mission make no mention of any anomalous objects near Saturn, Dean's assertions have led some to question whether there might be more to the Voyager mission than has been publicly disclosed. The alleged anomaly near Saturn. The alleged anomaly near Saturn emerged as a fascinating and controversial subject when ex-U.S. Army Major Bob Dean released photos that he claimed were taken during Voyager's mission to Saturn in 1980. This purported evidence sparked intrigue, skepticism, and debate among the public, scientists, and UFO enthusiasts alike. Let's delve into the specific details of these claims, examining the photos, the asserted size of the unidentified flying object, its appearance, and its location near Saturn. According to Bob Dean, the images revealed a massive, luminous anomaly or alien spacecraft situated next to Saturn. This enormous object, which Dean claimed was about the size of Earth, was depicted as hovering just outside Saturn's rings. The UFO's magnitude was staggering, with estimates placing its length at 2,000 miles and its diameter at 400 miles. Dean's close associate, Dr. Norman Berggren, a scientist and engineer for NASA's Ames Research Center and Lockheed Martin, was a key figure in the Voyager missions and allegedly played a significant role in obtaining the controversial photo from NASA's archives. The image was also published in Dr. Berggren's book, Ringmakers of Saturn, where he detailed his theory that Saturn's rings were formed by giant electromagnetic vehicles, EMVs, possibly controlled by intelligent beings. According to Dr. Berggren's analysis, these elliptical ships, measuring approximately 7,000 miles in length, were orbiting Saturn within the rings, emitting visible exhaust. Further analysis purportedly revealed the presence of similar or identical ships orbiting the Sun, Jupiter, and Uranus. These astounding claims fueled speculation and curiosity about the possibility of an advanced civilization inhabiting Saturn or using its vicinity as a base of operations. The appearance of the alleged UFO, as described by Dean, was perplexing and defied conventional explanations. In various images, the object appeared to be larger than Earth's moon and exhibited different shapes, including circular and cigar-shaped formations. Dean further claimed that the object was moving all around, seemingly under intelligent control, within the rings of Saturn and among its moons. In his narration, Dean also elaborated on the possible purpose of this colossal object, theorizing that the UFO was potentially involved in mining Saturn's rings for minerals and nutrients. This claim, though speculative, added another layer of intrigue to the mystery, implying that an incredibly advanced civilization might have developed technology capable of harnessing space's wealth of resources. The location of the alleged UFO near Saturn's rings also presented an enigma. Saturn's rings are complex structures made of ice and rock particles, and the idea that a gigantic spacecraft might be lurking near them seemed implausible to many. Nonetheless, Dean and Berggren's assertions painted a vivid picture of an object of unprecedented scale and sophistication, navigating and possibly even manipulating the environment of one of the solar system's most iconic planets. The reaction to these claims was mixed. While many UFO enthusiasts and some members of the public found Dean's allegations compelling, skeptics and experts in the field largely dismissed them due to a lack of concrete evidence and scientific validation. Criticism also centered around the possibility of misinterpretation or alteration of the images and the challenge of reconciling such extraordinary claims with established scientific knowledge. Dr. Norman Berggren's involvement and ringmakers of Saturn. A central figure in the saga of the alleged 2,000-mile-long UFO near Saturn, Dr. Norman Berggren's role and his publication of the book Ringmakers of Saturn provide essential context to the claims put forth by Bob Dean. As a scientist, engineer, and researcher associated with NASA's Ames Research Center and Lockheed Martin, Dr. Berggren had a credible background that lent weight to the subject. This chapter explores Dr. Berggren's involvement in obtaining the controversial photos and his detailed theories on the UFO, as expounded in his book. Dr. Berggren played a significant role in the Voyager missions, the probes sent to photograph Saturn, its rings, and moons. His close association with the missions and his position within the scientific community provided him access to images that became central to the alleged discovery of a large, unidentified flying object near Saturn. According to Bob Dean, Dr. Berggren was able to obtain a photo from the agency that showed the UFO, an object described as being the size of Earth and hovering outside Saturn's rings. What set Dr. Berggren apart was not merely his involvement in obtaining the photos, but his subsequent decision to delve deeper into the mystery. Frustrated with NASA's apparent unwillingness to share what they had photographed at Saturn with the public, he took matters into his own hands and wrote the book Ringmakers of Saturn. Ringmakers of Saturn is a profound work where Dr. Berggren detailed his analysis of photographs taken by Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 spacecraft in 1980 and 1981. He presented his theory that Saturn's rings were formed by giant electromagnetic vehicles, EMVs, possibly controlled by intelligent beings. These EMVs, as he described them, were 7,000 miles long and were currently orbiting Saturn within the rings, emitting visible exhaust. Berggren went beyond mere description, engaging in a technical analysis that detailed streamlined patterns he identified as potential lines, leading him to conclude that the object was electrical. He also extended his claims to suggest that similar ships were present around other planets, including the Sun, Jupiter, and Uranus. According to him, wherever rings were seen, these ringmakers were likely to be found. The publication of Ringmakers of Saturn was not without challenges. Reportedly, Dr. Berggren faced obstacles in getting his work published, leading to claims that he even had to leave the country to achieve publication. Such reports added an aura of intrigue and conspiracy to the book, heightening the interest and debate surrounding its content. In addition to the claims related to the UFO, Dr. Berggren's analysis of the images led him to suggest that the alleged extraterrestrial craft were involved in mining Saturn's rings for nutrients and minerals. He posited the existence of an incredibly advanced civilization that had developed technology to harness the wealth of space's resources. The response to ring makers of Saturn and Dr. Berggren's theories was predictably mixed. While many enthusiasts embraced his insights and praised the boldness of his claims, skeptics pointed to the lack of concrete evidence and questioned the validity of his conclusions. Some critics saw the theories as a dramatic departure from established scientific knowledge, leading to heated debates and discussions. Analysis of UFO theories. The alleged sighting of a 2,000-mile-long UFO near Saturn has fueled various theories, each attempting to explain the nature, origin, purpose, construction, and possible intelligent control of the object. These theories range from the speculative to the analytical, and they encompass diverse perspectives that touch upon scientific, technological, and even philosophical dimensions. One central theme in these theories is the construction and technology behind the UFO. Given its vast size, larger than Earth's moon, the object is speculated to represent an incredibly advanced technology. Some have proposed that the UFO could be an artificial construct, possibly a spacecraft of extraterrestrial origin. Bob Dean's comments further fueled this theory, as he alluded to a technology capable of constructing something of such a magnitude that could move wherever it wished to go, and potentially housed thousands of beings. The purpose of the UFO has been another area of intense speculation. Theories have posited that the UFO might be engaged in mining Saturn's rings for nutrients and minerals. The rings of Saturn, rich in various elements, could be a source of vast wealth for an advanced civilization. This idea, though speculative, resonates with human endeavors to explore space for resources and aligns with a growing interest in asteroid mining and the utilization of cosmic resources. Intelligent control is another intriguing aspect of the UFO theories. The movement and apparent behavior of the object, as described, suggests that it might be under intelligent guidance. Such control would imply not only an advanced technology but also a complex organization, potentially an entire civilization. This line of thinking opens the door to broader questions about extraterrestrial intelligence and its possible manifestations. Another theory revolves around the nature of the UFO itself. Dr. Norman Berggren's work in Ring Makers of Saturn provides a scientific perspective, suggesting that the object might be an electromagnetic vehicle, EMV. His analysis pointed to the UFO's electromagnetic characteristics, identifying streamline patterns that indicated electrical properties. This theory adds a layer of technical detail, shifting the discussion from mere speculation to a more grounded scientific inquiry. The analysis of theories would be incomplete without acknowledging the skepticism and criticism that surround the UFO sighting. Critics argue that the photographic evidence might be misinterpreted, distorted, or even fabricated. They contend that the lack of tangible proof and the reliance on anecdotal evidence diminish the credibility of the claims. This skeptical perspective is vital in maintaining a balanced view and underscores the necessity of rigorous scrutiny in any scientific investigation. The UFO theories also touch upon broader themes, such as the human psyche's fascination with the unknown and the profound desire to connect with the cosmos. They highlight the eternal quest for knowledge and the deep-seated longing to uncover the mysteries of existence. Whether one accepts the UFO's reality or dismisses it as a fabrication, the plethora of theories reflects a universal curiosity that transcends mere facts and delves into the realms of belief, hope, and wonder. Additional UFO sightings and claims. The intriguing report of a UFO near Saturn is not an isolated incident. In fact, it's part of a broader landscape filled with reported sightings, claims, evidence, and, not surprisingly, controversies and criticisms. The complexity of the UFO phenomenon is further highlighted by additional cases, including those from various Apollo missions, and the vast array of opinions and interpretations they generate. Several Apollo missions have been at the center of UFO claims, with astronauts allegedly encountering unexplained objects during their journeys to and around the moon. One example is a mysterious cigar-shaped object captured in a photograph during the Apollo 12 mission. Another involves disc-shaped objects seen by astronauts on their way to the lunar surface, photographed by Apollo 13 astronauts. Bob Dean, in particular, presented these sightings as evidence of extraterrestrial presence, further fueling the debate. The Landsberg crater has also become a focal point for UFO enthusiasts. During Apollo missions, astronauts were reportedly assigned to photograph this particular crater due to anomalous activities and constructions. Dean went on to claim that there were gigantic facilities in the crater, suggesting a possible extraterrestrial origin. Such claims add to the mystique surrounding our nearest celestial neighbor and provide fodder for endless speculation. These reports and claims, while captivating, have not gone without criticism. Skeptics have questioned the validity of the photographic evidence, arguing that the images could be the result of lens flares, film artifacts, or even intentional manipulations. Critics point to the lack of corroborative evidence and the reliance on individual testimonies, often challenging the legitimacy of the claims. Beyond the realm of astronauts and space missions, UFO sightings have become a global phenomenon, with reports coming from all parts of the world. Military personnel, commercial pilots, and ordinary citizens have all reported encounters with unexplained aerial objects. The declassification of military videos showing unidentified flying objects has added another layer to the discussion, forcing governmental agencies to address the topic more openly. However, the interpretation of what constitutes a UFO varies widely. For some, these objects represent definitive proof of extraterrestrial visitation, while others view them as unexplained natural phenomena or secret military technology. The lack of concrete evidence and the tendency to interpret sightings through personal beliefs and cultural lenses have made the UFO subject a breeding ground for disagreement and conflict. Controversies also extend to the personalities involved in UFO disclosure. Figures like Bob Dean have been celebrated by some as courageous whistleblowers, but denounced by others as sensationalists. The fine line between genuine inquiry and sensationalism can often blur, leading to a polarization of opinions. Moreover, the media's role in shaping the UFO narrative cannot be ignored. Sensational headlines, selective reporting, and the romanticization of extraterrestrial encounters have contributed to a complex and often misleading portrayal of the phenomenon. This has, in turn, led to a dichotomy between those who ardently believe in extraterrestrial presence and those who dismiss it entirely. Reactions and impact. The release of the alleged NASA footage and photographs by Bob Dean showcasing a purported UFO near Saturn undoubtedly stirred both the public and official domains. The impact on ufology, as well as individual and collective beliefs surrounding these claims, provides an illustrative example of how such revelations can resonate on various levels. From a public standpoint, Dean's revelations struck a chord with those already inclined to believe in extraterrestrial life and UFO phenomena. Many saw him as a credible figure due to his extensive military service and commitment to sharing what he believed was concealed information. The release of the images, alongside his passionate assertions about extraterrestrial existence, fortified the convictions of many in the UFO community. Dean's following grew, and he became a significant figure in the field of ufology. However, his claims also ignited controversy and attracted critics. Some accused Dean of sensationalism and questioned the authenticity of the images he presented. Skeptics raised concerns about the lack of verifiable evidence, pointing to possible natural explanations or human-made artifacts within the photographs. Dean's use of rhetoric, like "never a straight answer" when referring to NASA, further fueled skepticism and led to accusations of bias against the space agency. The official reaction was notably more restrained. While NASA did not fully engage in the controversy, the agency's stance on UFO sightings has typically been one of scientific skepticism. NASA maintains that most UFO sightings have conventional explanations, and without concrete evidence, they usually refrain from commenting on individual claims. Other governmental agencies remained similarly silent, perhaps wary of the complex and polarizing nature of the subject. Dean's revelations also had a considerable impact on ufology as a field of study. His claims invigorated discussions around government secrecy, the possibility of hidden knowledge about extraterrestrial life, and the ethical considerations of such concealment. The discussion extended to academic circles, where some scholars began to explore the sociological and psychological aspects of belief in UFOs and how personal and cultural factors influence the interpretation of evidence. The case also prompted renewed interest in Dr. Norman Berggren's book, Ringmakers of Saturn, leading to further examination of the theories presented within. The idea that Saturn's rings could be influenced by artificial constructs or ringmakers presented a novel angle in UFO discourse and became a subject of intrigue and debate. In broader society, Dean's claims, along with the enduring fascination with UFO phenomena, highlighted the complex relationship between belief, evidence, and authority. For some, the revelations were a symbol of a hidden truth that official channels sought to suppress. For others, they represented a cautionary tale about the potential pitfalls of unchecked belief and the need for critical scrutiny. The reactions and impact of Dean's revelations reveal a multifaceted picture of how such claims can resonate across various sectors of society. Whether viewed as profound truths, tantalizing mysteries, or cautionary tales, the claims and their subsequent reactions demonstrate the enduring power of the UFO phenomenon to captivate, challenge, and divide opinion.